Hey guys, what's up? If you're seeing this right now, it's because either you're a personal trainer or a combat sports athlete trying to generate some income as a pad holder. All right, guys, and I want to make this first session all about you. But first, I want to dive deeper a little bit about me, just so understand why you should trust me, maybe why you should listen to me. All right. So first of all right, I'm a retired professional mixed martial artist. All right. I was a legit world-class professional. All right. I retired with a 10-1 professional MMA record, actually 13-2, but what you can find online is 10-1, so I stick with that. I was also a boxing national champ, judo national champ, three-time Pan American Sambo champion. I was West Indies Fighting Championship, grappling champion, where I beat a bunch of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts. I was the highest ranked Sambo player in the whole Western Hemisphere. I did Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing. I studied in Russia, Brazil, Thailand. I finished my career with ONE FC, the second largest MMA promotion in the world. All right, I was ranked the number 4 welterweight in that organization. All right, I was ranked 100, top 100 welterweights in the entire world in all organizations. I was ranked top 500 fighters in the entire world out of all fighters. All right, so when it comes to my professional career as a martial artist, as a combat sport athlete, those are my credentials. All right, so if you weren't ranked higher than that, all right, as an athlete, all right, maybe you should listen to me. One, right? Maybe you can learn something, all right? 2, as a pad holder, I've been doing this for 14 years. I started when I was fighting and I was coming up as an athlete, all right? And I was bartending for my first two, 3 years, and then after I won a few fights, I decided to become a personal trainer full time so I could spend more time in the gym, work less hours, won't have to work night shifts, so I could be stronger, healthier, and better in the gym, perform better as my competition increased. All right, my first year was a real struggle. It wasn't for a handful of clients who bailed me out, who overpaid as a way of supporting my career. All right, and thankfully, I had to go back to being a bartender. Right, I was giving them value, but not as much as they were paying me for. But I got a lot better as the years progressed. All right, eventually I retired from professional fighting. I opened up my own gym. All right, I now currently own a studio gym in Canada, and I'm a half owner of a studio gym in Trinidad. All right, let me tell you a little bit of that history. So I sold my gym in Trinidad, came to Canada, knew no one, 0 people. My gym was flourishing in Trinidad because a lot of people knew where I was. I was this big fighter. Then I came to Canada, no 0 people, no one knew who I was. After 1 year, I was able to make it a very successful side hustle. After 2 years, I was able to reopen a gym here. All right. So I restarted, all right, multiple times, and most recently, I closed my gym last year, November, to focus online. All right, because I started to get some momentum, and I closed for 2 months, and I should have done it more professionally. As a result, I lost a lot of clients because I didn't expect to like take off instantly. I expected it to be a gradual growth online, and eventually I would be able to gradually build. But as I got the momentum, I'm like, let me stop everything, focus on that, which was the right move because I went from 2,000 followers to 120,000 followers, and I explain later why that's significant. All right, but I did that, and I did that confidently, knowing that I can restart the gym at any point. All right, it will take me a month or 2 months, and I can have this place booked up again because I'm so confident that I know the brick and mortar industry inside out when it comes to kickboxing for recreational athletes and people who pay a high price for it, and for fitness. All right, so I know how to do this inside out. And now 2 months later, the gym is pumped again. It's full. All right, things are skyrocketing. I work 4 hours a day. I can focus a lot of my time on building content online, focus on making that shift, which is the next big play as a personal trainer, right? Is so you no longer exchange your time for money, all right, but you're now exchanging a product for money, right? But let's get to all that. Let's focus on you right now as either a college athlete, personal trainer, trying to make it in person, all right? And guys, I say this not to be cocky and not to sound arrogant, right? But unless you had better accolades than me as a combat sports athlete, you know what I mean? Unless you make more than 100K a year, working 4 hours a day, and you own more than 2 gyms, right? Maybe you should listen to me, right? Maybe you might not use everything, I mean, but maybe if you have an open mind, you can learn something from me. And this is how I got to where I'm at today, right? I learn as much as I can every day. I don't watch TV at all. I spend all my time learning about marketing, sales, and that's how I continue to grow to get to where I'm at, right? Marketing, sales, the fight game, All right, I watch technique, I simplify it. All right, about psychology, stuff that nutrition, stuff that translates into the industry, right? So if you don't have that mindset, first of all, you're not going to get very far. All right, so let's get into the first. Now you know about me and maybe why you should listen to me. I promise I'm not a cocky person. I'm just saying I'm very humble. I'm just saying that because I want you to understand that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this. All right, just trust me, believe me. If you follow my insights, you're gonna level up your game big time. All right, so our first lesson today, all right, it's emotional bond. All right, I like to use this analogy. All right, Spider-Man, Batman. All right. The hero journey is the same, all right, for all heroes, all right. They go through some major tragedy, all right. They find their strength, all right, and they rise and they become heroes, all right. So every superhero, every hero has the same journey, all right. The big question is, all right, and in the fitness industry, we all preach the same thing, right? Fitness, nutrition, and accountability. If you're in the fitness industry, all right, you should be preaching that. That's how your clients get results, right? You have to give them some form of nutrition. You have to give them some form of fitness, all right, and hold them accountable to that so they actually follow through and do these things, right? So every successful coach, I preach, and everyone this is the base of our industry. If you're in the fitness industry, if you're a personal trainer or you're a combat sport athlete trying to make it personal training or a pad hole in your side hustle, all right, that's going to be your foundation, all right? But the big question is, what separates, all right, blockbuster movies and great hits like Superman, Batman from Black Adam and small hits and movies that flop, all right? All right, it all comes down to emotional connection, all right? Human psychology, all right? Humans respond with emotions, all right? Not logic, all right? Some movies might make a lot more logical sense, all right? But it's the emotions that tie us to Batman and Spider-Man, all right? And the same thing in life in general. So, all right, now to pad holding, right? How it relates to pad holding, all right? Pad holding is a fight simulation, all right? There's the emotions involved in a fight, all right, is unlike any other. All right, unlike any other, right? Like if you're fighting, emotions are involved. All right, you're not going to fight unless there are emotions involved. You're not going to get into a physical fist fight. All right, even if you're a combat sports athlete, all right, and they're doing this for money, right? The nerves, the anxiety, right? You cannot go into a fight situation without some form of emotion. You're fighting on the outside, which I wouldn't recommend. Right, it's because of anger, rage, or you're protecting someone. All right. There's emotion involved. So just know that for one. The emotional connection, the emotional bond you're able to get with your client, all right, is stronger than any other form of exercise I can think of. Legit. All right. Not saying this because I'm a pad holder, right? I'm saying like you can go running, you go on a treadmill, you can spot someone on the bench, you can spot someone, show them how to do exercises, but the emotional bond, the connection you form from when you put someone through a fight simulation is unlike any other, right? So one, you're spiking dopamine, you're spiking emotions, all right? So the bond you're able to create if you do this right is going to be a strong connection, stronger than no other between you and your client, all right? And this is why I'm so successful at what I'm doing, right? I'm able to get people in, and that's why I can have this with people who have no interest in ever fighting. All right, I'm doing this with people who can afford my services. Right, all right, retired businessmen. All right, the older you are, the more likely you have like income to spend because you just have more time to save. Right, so I work mostly with recreational athletes and people who business people. All right, because they can afford my services. All right, I don't work with professional athletes and people pursuing career anymore because I have 2 young kids at home. All right, and to work with professional athletes, it just requires so much time and energy going to sparring, and keeping them calm, composed, talking nutrition, right? So anyway, back to the emotional bond, all right? So that is the key to pad holding and what's going to make you successful. All right, the emotional bond, all right? It's not another training item on the menu, right? It's not like bench pressing or stairmaster or deadlifts, all right? It's the connection you're able to form through pad holding. So keep that in mind. That's going to be your ace in the hole. All right. And you play your cards right. All right. It's going to be what's going to have clients raving about you, I mean, wanting you, requesting you, needing you. All right, so that's my next point in this first lesson. All right, it's you can't hit pads without a second person. All right, you can go hit the bag, but it's not the same as anyone who's ever fought as hitting pads, right? Having someone move around you where you're actually feeling like you're in a fight simulation against a person instead of a bag, way different experience, all right? So needing you, and this is why this is critical, right? In the age of AI, right? Knowledge, if you think because you know exercise and you know nutrition, right, is gonna get you by, sorry, man. Like anyone go on ChatGPT, put in the age, height, sex, and their goals, and get a world-class, right, program. World class. All right, they can go on, ask for the same thing about nutrition: age, height, sex, goals, how much weight do you want to lose, and how much time, and then get a world-class nutrition meal plan delivered to them in seconds. All right, I mean, broken down by meal, macronutrients, stuff that it's going to take a nutritionist weeks to do. And what they say, you put it together for them and they say, oh, by the way, I don't eat onions. You got to do the whole thing over again to weigh everything out. ChatGPT can do it for you in seconds, all right? So having a knowledge-based only, all right, service as a personal trainer is not going to cut it if you want to be successful in this, all right? Maybe in the future when they have robots that can simulate pad holding, all right? But as of March 17, 2024, March 17, 2024, it cannot do that, all right? My job is secure, my job is safe, all right? So add an additional service like stretching or pad holding, something where your client's going to need a second person, is going to be critical to your services, all right, if you want this to sustain a long time, all right? So some people might say, what about form? Okay, people can just get the world-class program for ChatGPT, go on YouTube, see how to do perfect form, all right? So, and just follow that. If someone really wanted to, they don't need you, all right? They won't need you. And if they can come for you for a few weeks, few months, learn how to do the form, and then they can just go on ChatGPT and just say, I want to change up my program and get a new program, all right? So you have to, I highly recommend, if you want to last in this game, to offer a service where a second person is involved, where it's just no longer knowledge-based, all right? So that's my 2 things about today, is the emotional bond you'll be able to create from pad holding. All right, it's going to keep your clients connected to you, a strong bond, keeping that longevity with your clients through that bond. All right, and the second is the need. All right, you're no longer indispensable once you become a pad holder, added pad holder. Right, they want to feel like they're hitting pads. Who are they going to come see? Right? Once you start offering a service, it's going to be you, especially once you create that bond. All right, guys. So the 2 takeaways from your first lesson. All right, again, I'm going to emphasize. All right, it's the emotional bond you're able to create with your clients as a pad holder, all right? And the second is your indispensability as a second person as a pad holder. All right, guys, so let pad holding, if done right, can be your superpower. All right, it makes you stand out from the crowd. All right, you're a standout coach in your area. And guys, if you walk into the gym, right, just be unbiased for a second. You see one coach, they have their client on the treadmill running, all right? Even though they're motivated or skipping, all right, or any other machine, right? And you see another coach holding pads, right, with the excitement involved, and the coach is going, oh yeah, get it. Your hand, those pads pop, 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 pop. Which client is going to grab your attention more? Which client you're gonna shift the attention more? Which client, ooh, maybe I should try that. That looks interesting, all right? So you'll be able to stand out as a coach, right? You don't need to be a world class, right? You're not trying to hold for Mayweather. You're trying to hold for general, everyday people, all right? And you need. So I'm just going to emphasize, all right? We're going to get all into the pad holding side of this, all right, throughout this series. And I'm sorry this went on a lot longer than I wanted to, but I just need to get these points across. Being number 1, all right? This is going to be your backbone, all right, and the core of your service, all right? Is making yourself indispensable as a coach, all right, and creating emotional connections with your clients. It's what's going to make you last in this game, what's going to make you successful in this game, and it's what's going to get you to where I'm at in this game. Saying that in a very non-cocky way, all right? Just saying that in a very confident way. All right, guys, hope you guys understand that. Let that sink in. I'll see you in the next one. All right, stay tuned. I'm going to continue to give you tips all through, all right? So start thinking of today. Even if it's not pad holding, right? Start thinking of today is how you can add a service where a second person, where you're going to need you, all right? Not just as a spot. There's a Smith machine for that, you know what I mean? There's machines for that, all right? So don't think just spotting someone's going to get off. All right, stretching is a really good one, all right? I mean, if you added some kind of stretch routine, and I'm going to give you that entire stretch routine, what I use with my clients, that's safe, all right, how to properly practice, all right, and how to add that into your services. All right, and the second one's going to be pad holding, all right? So those are the two that I use that keep myself indispensable, all right, and keep that emotional bond strong with my clients. Have a great day, guys. All right, stay tuned. It's going to be a long journey, but if you follow along, you're going to make a lot more money. I promise you. Have a good one. Boop, boop.